the devil drove an Audi, that would be his car. But again, Audi engineers. But I went to undo the shock exploded. The shaft literally shot out of the housing, shot oil and shit everywhere. So I just got the deal of a century. I'm blowing a fair bit of money at the moment buying more projects and budget builds and stuff. I need to settle down, but I need to get off Marketplace because it is killing me. But anyway, I'm going to show you a couple things. First up is, I think this might even be the start of this episode. Well, anyway, I've got this VE that we were going to be, I think we pulled the tail shaft apart last time. That's going to be getting a new tail shaft put in it, and we've got new donuts and wheel speed sensors. So we're going to be working on that in a second, but I just need to show you guys, I got the deal of the century. So with this budget build, we'd obviously be doing $5,000 total, including buying the car, slammed on 22s. And car owes me a couple grand already, and then yeah, it's got a massive list of shit we're still got to fix. But I've just blown $1,250, but once you see what I got, I think you're going to be pretty impressed. Come with me, let's have a look. So yeah, I got those brand new rims with brand new tires for $1,250 in a 22. I couldn't find anything. I had even mates looking for me as well for a set of wheels, and we couldn't find anything for around the $800 to $1,000 mark, which is kind of my budget for the 22s. And then these popped up last night. He dropped the price from $2,000 to $1,250 because he obviously just wanted them gone. And I was like, I will take those. But the other problem I have is I've just bought a Statesman for spares for my Statesman because I wanted to re-garnish and good center console, and I thought, well, I can part the rest of the car out and get some money back. But it's got a supercharged 6 in it that's been rebuilt, and I thought, you know what, a Gemini would be pretty cool with a supercharged 6 in it. And then I accidentally bought a Gemini. So come to my storage shed next door. Oh, that's the other thing that's happened. There's a lot going on. I've taken back half of the shed next door. I was leasing that to a mate of mine, but yeah, he's decided he doesn't need all the space, so I've taken back half of that. The other thing that's happened is Deacon is moved out of my storage warehouse, so I'm taking that back as well. So I'm going to have more shed space than I know what to do with, but it's going to be cool. So at least that way the VL's not going anywhere. We can continue to work on that. It's just going to go next door, and I'll bring it back over here when I work on it. And my new project car, which I guess you've already figured out, it's a Gemini, is next door as well, and we'll be building that and bringing that back and forth. And then I've at least still got another spot in that shed as well for a customer's car or my own car or whatever, yeah, in there. And then I can have obviously the 4 cars in here. So it's really helping with the business, especially with the business growing so fast, with all you guys supporting me so much, which I appreciate. But anyway, let's have a quick little sneak peek next door and see this Gemini. It's pretty rough, so don't get too excited, but it does have a nice interior. So let's go have a look. I mean, the first thing you see is rust. But this is this weapon. How cool is this thing? So someone's had to go at restoring it. So it's still got this, all the running gear in it, the factory running gear. So we are actually going to try and get this. I'm thinking I'm going to do it in 2 stages. So we're going to do at this stage, you know, I'm open to opinions, but I was going to do a full proper resto on this car, just start to finish straight away. But also that, you know, cash flow, not great. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do with this one is start off with a $10,000 budget build, which will be getting all the factory driveline running and driving, fixing up the suspension, whatever we're going to do. We're going to fix up all the bodywork, but not going crazy. We're not doing like what I'll be doing with my VL or what you'd be doing with a car. I'm going to keep this car forever, but what you'd be doing with like a show car or whatever. We're just going to do it with stuff that you guys could do, you know, like as far as if I need to cut out sections of steel, I'm just going to belt them up on the I'm going to get a piece of steel and belt them up on the bench and weld them in, and it'll come up to be a neat job, but it's not going to be, I'm not going to spend, 20, 30 hours on each panel getting them dead straight. I'm just going to do whatever we've got to do to get it done, bit of fiberglass, bit of bog, whatever, and then get it painted. And I think I'm going to send it up to that $2.5 grand respray dude in Melbourne and get him to do it, but we'll see. I'll see what you guys want to do. I think I'll paint all in the door jambs and engine bay and stuff myself, and then whether we end up getting someone local to do the outside of it or I end up sending it up to that guy, we'll figure that out then, or whether I just paint it myself. I haven't painted a car in a long time, but I think I would still have it. But yes, anyway, so that is another project. So we've got this on the go, and I know you guys are thinking, Remy, you got too many projects, but projects that never end. It's a lifestyle, it's my motto, that's what we do. But anyway, so there's a little sneak peek at that Gemini. Let's go and unload these wheels, and then I need to get back stuck into that customer's VE so I can start making some money, because I need to make some money because I've been spending money like crazy, which I shouldn't be doing. But I'm on top of all my bills. I had a real big month the other month paying bills, as I said in one of my other videos. So everything's cleared up, everything's square. So yeah, I'm back on top now, and I can finally start using my money to have a little bit of fun with. So yeah, I've bought myself some projects for winter, because obviously the weather's going to start to get a bit shitter. So yeah, we're going to be able to have some really cool projects to do over the winter season. So, but yeah, So yeah, we'll be doing a $10,000 budget build, get it running, driving, registered, and painted for $10,000. So that'll be the first stage, and then the second stage will be doing the L67 conversion and getting all that done, which will probably put another 10 grand into it to do that stage. So all up, it'll be a $20,000 build, but we'll do it in 2 stages because you guys could do that to your own car. And then the VE, we're doing a $5,000 build, and then down after we do this car, we'll jump back onto the VE, and I'm going to bag it and coil over front, bag rear, and probably Colchins. So, but yeah, I'll enjoy that car for a little bit before we do a stage 2 on that one. But anyway, let's get back to work. So I've just got to put this tail shaft back in, and they've sent me the wrong donuts. The ones they've sent me are for VXV, YVZ, L67 and V8, but the ones I need are obviously for a VE, and the difference in bolt holes I think is like 90, 95 to 110. Because they're in a little pretty little package. I didn't notice till just then, although I only picked them up last night. I thought everything's come in time. I'm going to be able to get this car done. Beautiful. It's got the tail shaft rebuilt during the week. I was just waiting on these donuts, and then I was good to go. But no, now we're going to have to wait. So I've just texted the owner and let him know that they've sent me the wrong stuff. He's just said all good. So yeah, I'm going to have to roll my VL out, put the VL next door, and then I'll drop this. I'm going to be working on Jack's car later today actually, so I might just push the VL. Oh, I've got cars coming in that need to go on the hoist tonight. Alright. I think to keep it simple and keep everything together, as annoying as it is, the VL can just go next door, and then the VE, I'll push it underneath Jack's car, and then yeah, his exhaust and tail shaft and stuff can all go up on the bench next to Jack's, and then everything's sort of in the same areas. But yeah, later today I'm going to be working on Jack's car, and I suppose I'm going to have a little bit more time now that I don't have to do Darren's. So yeah, going to keep plodding away. I want to pull the airbags out of the back of Jack's car and then pull the diff out, but before we do that, we've got a diff cradle outside I need to dismantle so I can send him some pictures so he can sell off the cradle, because we don't need that. We're going to keep the axles and the diff and the bushes, the front big mount bushes, but other than that, yeah, Jack's going to sell off the rest of that. So for now, we'll put the VL next door, and then yeah, get the VE off the hoist, because I can't do anything with it until next week now. So a little bit frustrating. Turns out now I've got VZ ones in stock. This is why I do try and keep stock of stuff, but I've just pillaged over the last few years, you know, bits and pieces, and not restocked, whereas I'm usually very good like that. But as for everyone, last couple of years have been tough. I've only just started doing well in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, finally getting on top of everything and starting to make good money. So yeah, now I'll start stocking up the shop and doing bits and pieces. You know, like how I've ordered the coilovers for the showroom, and I've just ordered some airbag struts for the showroom to have on display. And yeah, I'll slowly buy bits and pieces for the Commodores so that I've got that stuff in stock. Obviously, I'm not going to do it for all the other cars because I don't work on this sort of thing on other cars. But for the Commodores, I'll try and keep it in stock, because in this instance, I would have been ordering it to replace what I already had, and this job would be going out today. So it's one of those things, you know, you spend a couple $1,000 buying a few basic things in that you use all the time. And then jobs like this, you don't have slowed down periods, because now I've got to waste time by obviously taking on and off the hoist and moving cars around when you shouldn't really have to be doing that. But it's all lesson learned. And yeah, when I order, I guess I'll order 4 so that I've got plenty. But anyway, let's get into it. Alright, it is Saturday morning and we are ready to go. I've got this VF in behind me. We deleted the front muffler. We put J-pipes in it the other week, and then we deleted the front muffler, and it sounds like shit. So I'm going to be welding this in today. And then we've also got, I'm going to do a coilover adjustment on the rear just with the dampening settings. I'll check the heights now, make sure it's level and it's settled well. But yeah, we put coilovers in it the other week. So yeah, just going to stiffen up the rear end a little bit for him. And then this car's good to go. So I don't know how much of this will film, because I need to smash this out this morning because he wants it basically straight away. So yeah, I'm gonna get this car done, get it out. I'm still trying to see whether I can find some tail shaft donuts for this locally. But yeah, they're like twice the price in Geelong that I can get them for. So, you know, I don't mind wearing a little bit extra, even though I've only charged a customer for the cheaper ones. If I can get them today or this weekend, I'd happily pay a little bit more, but I'm not going to be paying double. But I would like to get that job out of my way because I need the shed space back. And then I would hopefully like to jump on this a little bit today too, but we'll see. I highly doubt I'll actually get to it. I've actually got a pretty jam-packed day. This I probably should have done last night, but I was just exhausted. I've just been working flat out on the tools for quite a few months now, and I need a break, but we'll get there. So we've got this VE here that's come in to get coilovers and guard rolling. And you'll see, I'll show you, he's already damaged the guard just from driving from his house to here with his 2 new tyres on. So yeah. Then we've got our budget build, which I gave you the update on those wheels, which are going to look super, super cool on those. And then what else we got? I gave you the budget build update on the Gemini. But yeah, we'll be starting on those ones soon. Hopefully, basically I need to get through this $5,000 giveaway. And once I've done that, I can start to focus a little bit more on my own stuff. But at the moment, I'm just trying to work as much as I can so I can make sure that I've made enough money that it's viable to be able to do these things. But anyway, yes, we're in the last weekend of it. By the time you guys see this video, the giveaway will be closed. But yeah, if you missed out, I'm sure I'll run another one soon enough. So just make sure you're watching the videos to keep up to date with that. But anyway, let's get into it. can see behind me here, his tyres caught this guard and actually delaminated it from the other panel that's connected to. It's lucky the spot bolts have actually held it in place, so I've got to fix that and then roll the guard around. But as I said, this thing's been painted, and like pretty much every paint job, they never actually blow the paint in here properly. So the problem is, I doubt it's even been scuffed before it got painted. So the paint's just lightly sitting over the top of the old paint, and when you roll it, it just flakes off. So we're gonna have to try to be very careful with this car. If you're gonna get your guards rolled, get them rolled before you paint your car, because if you're gonna paint your car, you can go as wild, you can do whatever you want. The other thing with this car is it is deadly straight. This is one of the straightest cars. It's one of the straightest cars that's been in the shop, and the problem when you roll a VE, it gets a little dimple in the VE utes and wagons. Get a little dimple here because of this. You can see that there's a little hole just there, and when you roll over that, it basically just recreates that in the panel. So yeah, not ideal. I wish he had have come to me before he got his car done, but not everyone knows that. Hopefully you guys watching this might be a little bit more aware and get that done before you get your car painted. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to fix this and then I'll heat it, fix that damage, and then we'll start rolling the guard. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so I finished up installing the coilovers and got everything mocked up in this car. He was asking me if I reckon we should roll the front guards. At the height he's got it, I don't think we will need to. The rears, obviously I've rolled the rears. I'm just not sure whether we should pump them out a little bit because they are very wide tyres and it's going to be close, but I'm going to give that call up to him because, yeah, like I said, the VE utes, they just get this light dimple in there, and I'm on the verge at the moment, like it's just started. If we go any further, it's going to emphasize that. So this car's so straight, I don't want to go and ruin it. Yeah, so I'll pull this outside now, and then that way he's going to cold past on his way to work and just check out the heights and see whether he's happy, and then I'll chuck it back on the hoist later and lock it all off. And at least that gives the springs some time to settle too, because it'll give me a more accurate reading as far as heights. Yeah, because then I need to jump into that Volvo. I've got a Volvo out the front. Actually, I don't think I've told you guys that, but there's a Volvo out the front that I'm going to be just setting up the panhard bar and just playing around with the rear suspension a little bit for him, trying to get his bigger wheels to fit. Maybe doing something with the guards, we'll suss that out. And then I've got a VE wagon with 295 rears that I've got to roll the guards for, but it's not lowered, so it should be okay. We'll see how we go. But yeah, that's coming in, that's getting the guards rolled all around. So we need to get those 2 jobs done tonight, and then I can get back onto this VE. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it. Right, so yeah, I've just mocked this up to see what we've got to deal with, and we thought we'd be adjusting the panhard bar to try and get the wheels in a bit of a centre to allow these wheels to fit. It's not going to be that simple, unfortunately. It's also hitting the tail shafts, hitting the floor and big bumps, so I'm going to have to create some clearance and stuff there, but it's not really guard rolling. If we do this, it's going to be a difference. It'll be, I'll be using a guard roller if I can, rubber mallet, and then maybe even a slide hammer with a rubber pad on the inside of the guard. So it'll be quite a technical sort of job, but yeah, I'll see whether he wants to actually do it or not. But I just need to whip one of the wheels off and sort of see whether, get my head around the panel, because this steel in this thing's quite thick. So I don't even know whether the guard roller will roll it or I'll be able to do anything. So yeah, I just want to have a look in there and suss that out, and then I'll give him some options as far as cost. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need the car for a lot longer. I thought this was going to be a quick little job and then jump into that VE, but it's definitely not going to be. So I'll get my head around the thickness of the steel and roughly how long I think it's going to take, so I can quote him up, and then I think we'll throw the springs back in it, and then we can get it off the hoist so I can bring that VE in, because I need to get that one done first. But yeah, if he wants to do this is going to have to stay for a couple of days, probably till Monday, so that I can get it done. But anyway, I'm not working here Monday because I'm helping Deacon move out of my shed so I can take my shed back. But anyway, we'll have to stay here till tomorrow, and I'll just have to get it done. So anyway, yeah, let's get into it. These wheels are humongous. It's like, I don't know whether you can tell very easily, but I'll put some footage in here of one side with this wheel on and then the other side with the factory wheel. It is crazily different. So yeah, I'm going to roll the guards for him because that's what he's asked me to do, but I think even on a huge bump he's probably still going to scrub, but it'll have to be a pretty decent bump because his car is pretty high. So anyway, it's getting pretty late, I suppose, because it's getting daylight savings or whatever is over. It gets dark quick, but I'm going to be here for a while past my 8 o'clock curfew because I've got a fair few things to get done tonight. I've still got to roll the guards all around on this thing, and then I also have to pull the diff out of this Calais, and then I still technically have to lock away a coilover kit and finish that up, and then tomorrow morning I'll have to take that for a test drive. Then I've got a Audi out the front here. We've got an Audi out the front here that we're going to do coilovers on all round, and then maybe roll the front guards depending on how we go. And then I've got that Volvo over there that the owner's just given me the tick of approval to go crazy on the rear guards on that thing. So much work on the go at the moment, and I wasn't going to work Easter long weekend, and I had to open it up because I've just got so much going on, and now that's fully booked out as well. So yeah, it's great that I'm getting all this work on, but yeah, it's just trying to juggle between being there for my customers and having good conversations with them and getting the actual work done. So yeah, doing my best to keep up, but I do love it, and it does make me happy. So anyway, let's get cracking into this VE wagon so I can try and get home at some point. Anyway, into it. Alright, so we are back this morning. I can't remember if I filmed anything up to the very end of last night, but I ended up leaving here at like 10:30, so not quite 8 o'clock, but we did get what we needed to do done pretty much. Didn't get anything done on the Volvo, but I did manage to get that VE wagon finished up, which was good. But anyway, so now we are... Oh, and I got the diff out of that thing. But luckily enough, I'd already piled the transmission. Luckily enough, the transmission and the tail shafts and all that exhaust was already out, so I really had to just unbolt the diff. So that wasn't a big job. Wasn't too bad. So first up this morning, we have this car back in. The owner's happy with the heights. It has settled a bit in the back, so I just want to check on that again. Make sure I haven't gone too low, because we wanted to go down about 10 mil. And when I pulled it in last night, I swear it was down about 20. So I'll just check on that to see whether we need to go up a little bit. But yeah, and then I need to take it for a drive and make sure that it's not going to scrub, because then we might need to do some more guard rolling. So first up, I'm going to put the rear sway bar back in, because I disconnect them when I'm pulling out the factory, the standard suspension. But yeah, so I just got to lock away the coilovers, and then we can take this for a drive and then make sure it's all good. But yeah, I want to lock away all the coilovers, do up all the wheel nuts properly, make sure it's all good, and then we will take it for a drive and then probably chuck it back on the hoist and dial the rest of it back in. But I won't be doing that today because I've got this car till next Saturday. So I think I'm just going to lock the coilovers and stuff away, get this thing off the hoist, and then I need to check my calendar. But I'm pretty certain the only other thing I have on my cards today is the Audi out the front, doing the coilover upgrade in that. And then if all goes well and I have spare time, I'll jump onto one of the other projects that we have on the go. But I actually have a dinner with my sister tonight, so I don't want to be working here too late. That's why I stayed back extra long last night, so that I could get out of here at a good time today. So anyway, let's get into it. Well, I've just got the front struts out of this Audi, and I think Audi engineers are smoking the pipe, honestly. It's like they sit around thinking, how complicated can we make this? Because that was just silly. It actually wasn't terrible, if I'm being honest. Silly. It actually wasn't terrible, if I'm being honest. But it was ridiculous. Just the way that it was set up was just annoying. Like, if that had been a bolt-on hub instead of a slip joint, that would have made it a lot easier too. But anyway, wasn't terrible. We've got them out. Now we can pull them apart, set the coilovers up and put them back in. We're also going to drill a hole in the top of this strut tower, both sides, just so that he can slide the adjuster in to adjust the dampening, because otherwise you can't do that. And honestly, people are drilling holes in their cars flat out to put wiring and stuff in, so I really can't see the problem. But yeah, I don't even know why that's not a removable cap from factory. Seems a bit silly. But again, Audi engineers. This is why I like Commodores. But anyway, bring in your Audi. I'm just going to charge you $44,000 every time you want a coilover upgrade. Alright, back in order. Right, so I've just sent pictures of the height of the car to the owner, and he's happy enough, I think, with the rear, but the front he wants lower, and I was kind of leaning towards that myself. So to get it lower again, I'm going to take the adjusting nuts out of the coilovers. So usually you would have the spring nut, the locking nut for the spring, and then you have your locking nut against the lower foot. But we're going to screw the foot up to the spring nut and then lock it off at that height and then drop it, because that'll give us another 15 mil in the front. And then by the time it settles all round, I think it'll settle at a good height. But yeah, at the moment he's like, I thought it would be lower. To be honest, I agree. So yeah, I'll adjust that now, and then we'll put it back down. So put it up, I'll adjust that and put it back down. I'm not going to film it because I'm under the pump and I need to get this done. So just bear with me. In 2 seconds, I'll be back. All right, so we're back. Hopefully, I actually had to end the video the other night because I just had an absolute shit night. So I got to about 6 p.m. on Sunday night. I had this all set up down, but me and the owner both weren't happy with the front height, but I thought, let's just leave it for now. I'll talk with my suppliers and see what we can work out. He wanted the car back straight away, so we've pulled the springs out, customized a few things. I'll leave it at that. And yeah, went to put it back together. One side, all three corners, I had all three corners done, went to put the last one back together, and I was that tired. I was shaking, because I've been working so bloody much on the tools lately. Like, I always work long hours, but I haven't worked this much on, normally I'm not doing 80, 90 hours on the tools every week for a long time, and I've been doing that because of this giveaway. So I've been hectically busy. And I think I put the rattle gun on forwards instead of backwards. I don't know, but I went to undo the shock, or do the shock up. I can't even remember, but the shock exploded. The shaft literally shot out of the housing, shot oil and shit everywhere. It actually would have been epic to catch on camera because I've never seen it before, never had it happen. Yeah, and then we spent 2 hours trying to put the shock back together and trying to fix it so that he could get home. And then in the end, we ended up just going, you know what, let's just leave it and we'll sort it out. Ironically, yeah, we could have ended up sorting it out with my suppliers and everything would have been cool, but these are the things you try and just smash through and get things done. Sometimes you need to walk away and just reset. So that's what I've done. Yeah, so the right stuff's rocked up to put this VE together. So really my plan tonight is whack this Audi back together, because we shouldn't be too far off actually having it back together. I've got pieces of shit everywhere. My shop's an absolute mess, which always makes me feel frustrated. But yeah, I'd like to get this Audi back together, get that off the hoist and tested, and then we'll put this VE back on the hoist, put it back together, and then get that tested and make sure that's all good. And then after that, I can put the VE back on the hoist ready for Friday morning to sort that out. And then I've got the Volvo we're still to do the guards on, which I haven't even started. So yeah, I've already got a pretty hectic weekend ahead of me. So I'm trying to neaten up some of these cars tonight. Usually Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I just work construction 10 hours a day and then come back here and just do editing and stuff. But tonight I've decided I'm going to work on the tools for a few more hours and try and get things organized. I've just had my weekly shipment from KS Racing come in, and so I've got bits and pieces for my weekend. I'm ready, set up for that, and yeah, then we're going to be into it. And I've also got my offsiders car. I've also just had my offsiders car fully detailed while he's away. He's in Vegas at the moment, and as just a bit of a present to say thank you for the hours that he puts in for me, I've gone and got his car fully detailed, and I'm going to give it a service. I've got to pick up the stuff for that. That's another thing I've got to do Friday. I've got to go into Burson's and pick up a few more things because it needs a bit of stuff. So I've given it a bit of a birthday just as a thank you for him. Like, I do pay him, but above and beyond that, he's just always helping me out left, right and center. And even so much stuff you guys barely see him on camera, but off camera, because he does so much for me. So I've done that to say thank you. And then, yeah, so we've got a lot going on. I'm just trying to get things organized and sorted out. So yeah, I've got to jump on the computer for a second and get back to some emails. Then straight after that, I'm going to jump onto the tools and get these cars happening. I forgot, I've just got these coilovers here that have come in. A bloke named Glenn has bought these. He's going to fit them himself, so I'm just going to set them up for him. I've already got that bit set up. So I'm just waiting on him. He's about to rock up now with his strut tops. We'll whack them on the top and do the nuts up for him, and then he's good to put them in his car. So yeah, anyway, I'll do these, and then we'll get stuck into this Audi. Alrighty, so Glenn's picked up his coilovers. He's ready to go. They're all set up, ready for him to put in his car and get into it. So anyway, let's get into these Audi coilovers so that I can clean up this mess of a shop. Look how messy my bench is. Got 3 cars worth of parts sitting on here. Not good. I don't like it when it's like this. Anyway, let's get into it. Alrighty, so Audi's done. I haven't showed you guys the Audi yet. Yeah, that's finally done. What a nightmare. All good. Car's done. Whatever. Customer's happy. Actually drives unreal. Think I might have to buy one. Why do I have to drive cars and then want to buy every single car that I drive? Lucky I've got 3 sheds. Alrighty, so anyway, my shed's an absolute mess. I was going to start this car tonight so that I can get that back together, but I think I'll see how I'm feeling. I still might. But first up, I want to have a clean up. This bench is an absolute mess. That bench is an absolute mess. There's not a lot we can do with it. I've got boxes upon boxes upon boxes from coilover kits from the last 2 weeks, and I'm about to add another huge stack of boxes to that. But that's what my mini truck used to be for. I used to keep that here and fill it up as like a bit of a bin and take everything home, which I will do, but I'll drive the mini truck here one day over the weekend and grab it all. But I just thought I'd wait till we get through this giveaway, because I knew the last couple of weeks of the giveaway were going to be hectic and I was going to be doing heaps of work. So that's exactly what happened. So yeah, I've got heaps and heaps of packaging there and I am exhausted. I'm going to start, I'm at the shop 4 days a week, but I'm pretty much only going to be booking in work Saturdays and Sundays from now on, because I figure Fridays basically I need just for catching up on bookwork and editing. Obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'll run work in construction, so those days are pretty much ruled out. After that I just do whatever I can, generally admin and then editing, and then Fridays are basically gone to editing. Saturdays and Sundays I'm going to book out work, but then Mondays I'm going to basically use as a overflow day. So anything that if I have jobs fall out that don't work out, I've got Monday up my sleeve to fix them. Otherwise, I'm going to try and start working on my own cars every Monday, or projects that we've got going on, which are still my own cars. But yeah, like I got the VE, the VL, the Gemini, like all. I could sit here for ages and list my cars, and there's a few that I haven't told everyone about yet, so I'm not going to list all my cars in case I accidentally tell you about them. But yeah, I've got so many of my own cars and so much of my own projects that I want to do. If I don't start blocking out time, I just always thought that if I just work on them whenever I don't have work, then they'll get done. But the problem is, if I just take on work all the time, I seem to be busy all the time, which is a good thing. But I need to start scheduling in my own cars so that things actually happen, and then that way you guys are getting content on those every single week too. So yeah, that's my plan. So if I tell you I can't do your job on a Friday or Monday, please don't get upset at me. It's just, that's what I'm going to do with the shop going forward. Obviously there'll be weekends where that doesn't happen and there's just too much inquiries and I have no choice, or I really need to have a big catch-up weekend because I've got so much inquiries and work coming through that I don't have any choice. But yeah, generally I'm going to try and just work here Saturdays and Sundays, and then the other 2 days have as, you know, editing of my own cars and stuff like that. And then obviously running the construction stuff on the other days. Apart from that, I've jibber-jabbered on so much. Anyway, I'm going to turn my music back on and clean up this bloody shed. All right, that's it for another episode. Where are we? The VE Calais is done. I've taken that for a test drive. Drives great. This ute is pretty much done. I've just got to dial in the coilovers. I need to take it for a drive, but because it's been raining and this thing has like 800 horsepower, don't really want to drive it in the wet. So hopefully Friday is a nice-ish day, so I can at least take it for a drive. He's picking up Saturday, and I just need to fine-tune the coilovers a little bit. Then we've got the Volvo wagon that we're going to be doing the guards on, which are going to be interesting because they are a very weird curving guard. So yeah, that'll be in the next episode along with the ute. And then we have Cuzzy's car. I'll be giving that a birthday, and I'll give you guys a bit better look at the actual car. Like I said, I just had it detailed and I'm giving it a service, bit of a birthday for him to say thanks for being a legend all the time, helping me out. And then we've got the Audi. That Audi's now been done, and I'll put the key next door so that he can pick that up tomorrow, because I'm not going to be around. And then what else have we got coming up that's not here in this next build? In the next episode, we have these cars, and then we also have a VT that I did coilovers on the other week, some of those cheap eBay ones. The rear shocks didn't fit, so he's ordered a set of our shocks to go in the back of it, which make a big difference. Really, he's not that much of a distance off. He should have probably just got one of our kits and got it fitted, but what do you do? People always buy that sort of stuff because they just think it's this massive price difference, but once you figure out the quality, it's not a big price difference. It's a completely different field. So yeah, we've got rear adjustable coilover shocks going on the back of that. Oh yeah, we've got an airbag kit coming in to get done. Fuel pump in a VY. Yeah, I'm not sure. A few other little things. I want to jump on that Calais, the VY Calais, and try and do some more work on that. I'd like to get the diff put back in and swap over the main front diff bushes and get the cradle ready to go. And if I have enough time, I'd like to put the gearbox back in it. Yeah, so I mean, between that's going to be a jam-packed episode. Another busy weekend. It is a long weekend, but it's a long weekend for me every weekend at the shop, so it's just another weekend. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you need work like this done to your car, hit me up, become a channel member, support the things, drop the comments, all the things. Appreciate you guys watching, and until then, I will see you on the next one.